People get a lot of fulfillment out of their work. They're passionate about it. And if you found your passion and you want to do it, that's great. I think where it becomes a problem is, first of all, when it's not necessarily what you want, but you feel like you're in sort of a race to the bottom where if you want to make progress in your career, you have to beat out other people. And then it becomes a problem where you start building your life around it so that you don't have anything else. You don't have the family. You're not engaged in the community. And then it's like, well, I might as well, I'm home in the evening, might as well do some work. You don't have anything else going on. And that's when I think it tips into not such a good thing.
I think that's a great point, Robert. And we're dealing with a lot of these trends about people having no families or smaller families or not a lot going on outside of work. And you see this phenomenon even among wealthier, successful people. There's not necessarily a correlation between achievement and working less, that maybe it's a positive correlation between achievement and working more.
Yeah, you do see it at every level, and I think it's important to see why Keynes was wrong about this. He thought that in 15 hours a week we'd be able to buy everything that we might reasonably be said to need, and I think in that respect he was correct. What he failed to see clearly was that there's really no limit to what we want. We want something that seems cool. We want something that seems interesting. We want something that stands out. Those are all relative qualities. When we get used to something, then we look for the next thing. And there's really no limit to how much we can spend on things that are a little bit better than what we're used to. And so I think in the workplace, too, everybody's natural impulse is to get ahead. And so getting ahead is also a relative competition.
So what's the response to this then? Robert, I'll ask you first and then Oren. But how do people, in the long run, do they end up saying, well, you know what, actually I did start a family and now I have to set some limits at work? Or what ends up being the limit then?
This isn't a new problem. We've had this all through the industrialized era. The way we used to solve it was with limits on the labor contract. You couldn't work more than 40 hours or your employer would have to pay you time and a half. That's fine for the hourly worker, but it doesn't really work for the professional worker. And those are the workers that we're seeing logging 70, 80, 90-hour work weeks.
Fascinating point.
So we really need to come up with an environment that lets those people take time off for other aspects of their lives.
And you would, Oren, say to that?
I absolutely agree with that. I think this distinction, professional versus, ultimately you're talking about less educated workers, is crucially important. And to recognize that workism isn't what everybody wants, that a lot of, frankly, very sensible people want to build their lives around other things. And if we send this message that unless your job is where you get your fulfillment and your passion, if we say anything else is a dead-end job, that's exactly the wrong message. We need to celebrate people being productive contributors, supporting their families, and then getting on with whatever else they want from their life, too.